What's good, y'all? This is the Trappin with Guys podcast. I got some lint on my microphone. And I'm Angela with the goods.
What's up? I'm your girl, Coach K. Did you notice I'm calling myself
Coach
K?
K. I didn't hear that the last time.
I ain't been calling myself.
I didn't hear
K.
that the last time.
Yeah.
So I'm with Coach K right now, y'all.
I said yes.
And we are so grateful to be here with y'all. We are so excited.
Yes, we are.
Like,
for sure.
So excited. And as always, I want to start off by saying we don't know nothing. We don't know
I
nothing.
love that.
Yeah.
We don't.
We'll start with gratitude and also let y'all know we don't know nothing. So last week we were talking about, we had came back from our little hiatus, I guess if you want to call it, our spiritual time with ourselves.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen each other, our trap together. We was trapping. We just was trapping solo.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, but we left off where I wanted to like ask you so I'm really excited about this and know what your answer is. So, okay, you know how you were talking about Michael Singer and his perspective on ways of going internal, and then Neville Goddard. Do you feel like those things are kind of separate from each other?
No.
Okay, because I feel like, well, Michael. The reason why I asked, because Neville kind of talks about a place of like desiring. We talk about Neville Goddard, y'all.
Yes.
He talks about desiring or manifesting. And then Michael kind of talks about just being, like not having no desires and all of that stuff. So how do you feel that is not the separate?
This a freaking excellent question, Angela. Whoa. Let's just first acknowledge that, because the inside of my body right now is like, yes. So from my perspective, and then I would love to get your outlook on it.
Yeah.
Because I've been...
Look, my body all hurts.
Yes, because you're ready for this.
Because I've been thinking about this.
Excellent. This kind of piggybacks off the last concept that we were talking about in the other episode about we pretty much essentially be saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing to me, in my opinion, in different ways. And what I mean by that is Michael Singer. I don't know if y'all remember me discuss. We talk about Michael Singer a lot. We'll be talking about a lot of great spiritual teachers, is what I call them, on this pod. But with the Surrender experiment, which was the book that I had read, which is not his first book, by the way. He's written other books. On the beginning, I bought him. I thought you went to see him.
I thought you went to see him.
I was, but I was like, nah. I need to go be somewhere. But anyway, by the water. But what I was saying was, the Surrender experiment talks a lot about his journey to actually letting himself go. But if you don't remember me telling you, he had desires. You didn't read the book. But from what I see, like even when he started the construction company. He started the software company. That stuff started with a desire. He doesn't call it a desire, but these are what I interpreted to be is his true desires came to him from just a state of being, letting go of his personal self. Yeah. His, what we call the ego. I feel like, and in some like religious ways, I feel like we call it the devil. Because this thing that we create, and I feel like it's in different states of our life that we get to, we create this identity. And then once it's time to move on from that identity, I see your eyes looking, but I'm gonna bring it back around. I'm gonna keep going. We create these states of identity, and I feel like once it's time to move on from this actual thing that we created, sometimes it can work against us. Because if we're trying to elevate and move higher from it, like I'll give myself, I always have to use myself as an example. Like, I've been doing social work for like 12 years, something like that. 13, well, yeah, 12, 13 years professionally. I just told you, like, on the when we were talking before in the last episode, like, moving into this space of entrepreneurship has been very difficult for me. That's a whole new state of consciousness I'm trying to grasp and develop. But that old me, baby, she's don't know nothing about this. She's scared. She don't think she can do it. All you is a social worker. That's all you ever gonna be is a social worker. That type of stuff. That's what I'm talking about when I'm referring to the ego. Now, I could be wrong, but this is just my understanding. But going back to Michael Singer's particular perspective on his journey was the same thing. He was trying to let go of the limited part of himself, what we call the ego, and just be. Just be. Now, Neville talks about this in At Your Command. And it's one of his book. I have on instant replay. I replay it. I was listening to it before I came over here. It's the states of consciousness. Now, I know he talks a lot about imagination as well. But in this particular book, he identifies God as your own consciousness, your own state of being. We have different names for it. We call it God. You could call it consciousness. You could call it awareness. You could call it whatever you put to it, or I am. Mm-hmm. But for Neville, in which he also states the Bible talks about this as well, that is God, your own state of being. I feel like I'm going back in between Michael Singer and Neville, but going back to Michael Singer, he was just great at being. So whatever he was in that state of being, he pushed the personal self away, but he was just in his state of being. And whatever his true desires was actually came to him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Neville talks about this in At Your Command as well. Have you read At Your Command or listened to it?
I'm going to tap into
it. But he talks about this as well. Just getting to a state of being. Not even attempting to condition anything or form anything. If you want to move you have a desire and you want to move to a different place in your life, don't try to do nothing yet. Just get to a place of being first. Talks about that. Oh, girl, I keep it on
I'm tired of trying. I give up trying.
That's what. Listen, actually, the striving.
I give up.
But I'm bringing up another spiritual teacher you introduced me to, Abraham Hicks.
Uh-huh.
But in what you just mentioned about being inspired action,
mm-hmm.
Nothing about Keisha, the social worker, doesn't know nothing about Keisha, the entrepreneur. Has no idea. Mm-hmm. Don't know how that's going to happen. Don't know how it's going to come into being. Don't know. It's a limited experience. It's a limited identity, consciousness. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know what that's gonna look like, how that's gonna come out to play, how successful and all of that stuff that I'm gonna be. Keisha the social worker don't know none of that. Keisha the social worker just know about Keisha the social worker. Keisha the social worker know that she could go to the hospital, she could go to a dialysis clinic, she could go to a school, she could perform the best she could fucking be in that limited experience. But Keisha the social worker has no idea about Keisha the entrepreneur, Keisha the life coach, none of that. Keisha don't know nothing about that.
Keisha.
But my higher self, my God self, my state of awareness, just my state of being, can't y'all tell God been working on me when I was away? Knows all. That's why you have to make God the center of your life. Because God, your higher self, or whatever you choose to call it, knows all. But I don't. Keisha don't. Because I'm limited to a certain amount, a certain space, you know what I mean, in time. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Did I answer your question? I went all around the world.
Yeah. But I mean, I think what I heard you say was Neville, he kind of also is in the same vein talking about the things Mickey talks about, as far as like Mickey was just like you said, not trying to do anything.
But he heard himself in his head, like that limited voice.
Right.
That was I don't
that
like.
might have, but was the limited voice saying like, I want to start a construction company, or
no,
I want to have
no,
a
it
business.
wasn't. It was talking, but it was saying what it didn't want to do,
right?
What I don't like, or what I just want to be by myself off in the woods. It was saying negative. It was just talking, saying whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. But from his perspective on how he put it, he just allowed life to life. So from that perspective, life did bring things to him.
Yeah.
But in that state of awareness that he tried to sit, what he called it, the seat. I forget what you say.
The seat of awareness or the seat of the soul.
Yeah, that's where he was sitting from that perspective. Pay attention
to what his
correct
thoughts was doing, which is like our autonomic.
Oh shit!
Autonomic system. I don't know, but I was, like our heart rate, our heart beats on its own. Our digestive system does all these things on its own. Our thoughts do what they do on their own.
They do and I feel like it's really because of the 3D or your experiences that you are coming into contact with, or things, the past. Like you talked about, the mind is a collection of just your past, present, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's talking. Yeah.
So another question I had was like, it is you hear these people saying like, you got to change your inside. You got to change your internal got to change to reflect that. I was like, what my insides look like? My insides. How do I get a car inside of here? Like what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? You ever think about that? Like my inside, you gotta go inside.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the one thing that comes to mind for me is mindset. Because in this entrepreneurial journey, I've heard that a lot. A lot of the people talk about changing your mindset. And I feel like when they talk about going inside, that's what they talking about.
In mind.
Yeah. What are you thinking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that goes back to Michael Singer. The voice, he noticed the things that are being, and we talked about this before on tune into our episode on the terror train, get off the terror train. Dealing with negative thoughts. But yeah, that's a part of that. Like when you make this you said it before in such a great way. Like your thoughts, they like clouds, they float. You could jump on one of them motherfuckers quick if you want to. Ride. Cause it's gonna take you for a ride now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's gonna take you for a ride, and then you become the thought.
Yeah.
So now,
depending on how long you think about it,
and then you can get off that and jump on another one too.
Yeah. You be on a spinning around on that.
Oh
shit.
My gosh! And that's what I call the wilderness. When I said in the last conversation, I love this because we starting to break down a little bit more of the concepts of it. But I call that the wilderness.
Okay.
Or some people I think from my understanding, Jesus was called like human consciousness or the human confusion. That too. Like when you start to get lost in that, that's what I think. Yeah.
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 The wilderness, you get lost in the wilderness.
Man, you get lost in the wilderness. You can be in that motherfucker for a long time. I've been there.
Yeah.
Been there.
I'm glad you brought that back because I didn't quite understand, but now I understand.
You talking about when I said the wilderness?
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I meant.
Going off into
absolutely.
Yeah,
it can take you away if you let it, and then if you notice, if you get to a space like I'm noticing, it can be very distracted. I can be very undisciplined, impulsive. How else would I know these things if I'm not knowing me, knowing thyself, studying me, understanding me as a person? Yeah. How else would you know though? But you got to take a back seat. Like you say, you take a back seat to that and you notice these things.
Yeah. I think a big thing for me that causes a lot of suffering is, just thinking of past things.
Me too.
And
Same.
also and like my 3D reality might not be what I want it to be right now, and thinking about those circumstances and how like just focus on that, and like I
Yeah.
just can't help but just go back to thinking that this does not matter, that it's stale, it's old. Like
Yeah.
the more that I condition my mind and have these other thoughts, that I meditate and am more mindful about what I'm thinking,
Oh
the
yeah.
more
I love that.
that it's gonna my reality is gonna shift.
But I think that answered your question though, Angela. Like when you say, what do they mean when they be like go inside? You got to go inside. You doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of when somebody used to tell me all the time. Shout out to my friend Tiffany Diggyamo, man. She should be getting her DSW, Doctor of Social Work, right now. But shout out to her. But she used to pray over me all the time, man, when we worked together, and she would just say, "Do the work." Every time she would go do her thing, she would talk in tongues, and she'd come back and she'd be like, "He told me to tell you do the work." Every time she would come back and be like, "Do the work. You got to do the work, Keisha. You got to do the work, Keisha."
Speaking of doing the work, I like, okay, how do you feel about speaking what it is that you want in that becoming the thing? Like, talking about doing the work. I don't want to work hard. Okay. Not saying that doing the work is working hard, but that just came up for me. I just want to say that. I don't want to work hard.
I feel you. Me either. Me either. I think,
and I don't think that I have to. I don't think that's what we hear. I really don't.
I don't think we have to.
And that's not always easy to say because I don't feel like I'm living like people that work hard have these certain fruits. You know what I'm saying? And my none motherfucking working hard ass don't have those fruits. So like to say that is like I feel like it's like pointing at me like that's why you don't have that
because you don't work hard.
Ooh, it feels so good to say it, to get it out.
Get it out. We speaking truth on the station. I'm old as fuck. Talking about on the station, but on the pod, I feel like working hard. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm getting a download. Working hard is when you are trying to probably accomplish something that's
come on now.
Is coming, that you trying to accomplish something that's not in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. That's
what came up for me when you was downloading.
Yeah,
I was downloading. It's that trying part. That trying, like even me saying trying not to say trying is trying. I'm done. I give up that. That's
yeah.
I don't want to do that no more.
And I
let that go.
What did I text you before? We were kind of like trapping. We were trapping solo over the last several days, but you were sending stuff and I was sending, but I do remember specifically one thing that I sent Angela when you was telling me you was having some time with yourself and I forget exactly your specific words. Do you remember what I wrote you back?
You told me that just to flow.
I did, and I said I refer to God sometimes as he, y'all, but I'm with it. I'm woke. He has you right where he wants you, surrendering. That's what popped in my head.
Yeah.
And I think we hold tight to something so many times that when God is moving in our life, it's like we don't want to let certain things or certain stuff go. Mm-hmm. Like with my house, that was a thing for me. Like, oh, you work so hard to get this, and I didn't work hard to get out. I really didn't. It was given. It literally, when it was for me, it was given to me. I didn't have no money to get this house. You know what I said? I'm gonna give me a house for my daughter to start kindergarten, and because I don't want her to be moving around, I want her to be stable. I went out there and I came back with a house. I ain't even gonna lie. One of my friends that is a good friend of mine. We barely speak, but I know if I could call her and need something, I can get it right now. Thank God for her. Gave me $5,000. Who does that? Mm-hmm. My dad called him, gave me some more money. Got a house.
Yeah. Always show
When
up.
it's
You
in
always get what
alignment,
you need.
but that's what I was telling you. I said, flip it. We said that on the other episode we was talking, and I think we kind of broke it down too when we were like, does God want what I want? And I was like, flip it. Do I want what God wants?
Oh yeah, that's what you text too.
Yeah, because it knows. It's the ultimate.
I was in the wilderness, girl.
Girl, I
was in
might
the
call
wilderness.
your
I was
ass
trying to-
tomorrow and be back in that
I
motherfucker.
was trying to hear none of that. She was texting
Oh,
me.
I know.
Was like,
When let me tell you what this bitch did. She gonna put you know when motherfucker put a thumbs up on some shit. She probably was like, this bitch fuck with this bitch
like,
talking about I don't want to hear that
I was in
shit.
the wilderness.
Yeah, you ain't want to hear that shit. And I was fine with it because I was just like, I
No,
get
I
it.
know.
You know me.
I know.
I was like, do your thing. I was like, God do it. Listen, God doing what he doing. I don't need to do
I
nothing.
was like, you like how you felt? I would have been like, man. I was like, let me say so.
God doing what he do. Just like for me. But
Yeah.
I might think it's the stuff I'm telling you about this business ideas I've been talking to you about and stuff like that. Who knows? I don't know. Oh no, shit! Ain't that what Good just said on when we came on the episode?
We don't know nothing.
You got to be able to let shit go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to.
A friend told me yesterday. She was like, "Trust the process."
We talked about it in the episode. We said it.
People
Trust
say
in
it
the
all
process
the
is
time.
trusting God.
Trust the process. Trust the process. But shit, it just unfortunately ain't that easy. And I
It's
think that
not.
we also don't realize that, or I didn't realize that, and I think people don't realize that this it ain't gonna be easy. Like,
No.
you know, it's just not easy.
I think I bring it back to a conversation we had a while back, and I think we were talking about like why or whatever. It's like it's human shit. This is what it is to be human, man.
Yeah.
We feel.
Yeah. And when you start digging, like we doing, you start digging, you start trapping more. It don't necessarily be. It's not easy.
No,
it's just not easy.
It's not easy to do the work.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's like you gotta go through. You digging in the trenches. You gotta go through.
You do. You literally digging into the depths of your soul. And some stuff you don't want to deal with. You don't want to dig. I've said this to y'all before when I done been candid about myself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. But honestly, I feel better. It didn't feel good when this shit was being rehashed in my life. Like, no, it didn't. It didn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
But to be like and say like I don't want this in there. That's one thing that Michael Singer says. Is like,
Yeah.
remember
bring that up.
Yeah, bring it up. I don't want this in there.
Yeah, I was listening to him yesterday. I said I'm gonna go back to it, but I really like what he was talking about. He was like, one thing he said your work is basically to be like, I don't want this no more. That's your work. That's what your work is. I'm like, yeah, I don't want this. And how to stay mindful of that when the things come up that are triggering you. You know?
Absolutely. And I go back to say that's one thing I do not do, and I'm so glad that I do have the background that I have in educational and background that I have just working with people, because I've always had a desire to just love and help people, and I think that's because I needed so much damn help in my life. It was just a natural desire that I had because I just felt people's pain. I felt the hurt. Like talking to people, I could forget all about what the hell I was going through. Once I started dealing with people and they start telling me their story and stuff, I forget all about me. Mm-hmm. Like I was it was this sweet lady picked me up from the hotel in Myrtle Beach and took me back to the airport on Sunday. But she was just talking to me about, and she was just the sweetest lady, y'all. But she was just, I know she was doing the best she could, first of all. But I felt that pain because I felt that before when you just existing, man. You existing. When what I mean by is you going to work every day, you working a job you don't like, you taking care of a whole bunch of folks, and you ain't doing shit for yourself. You done forgot about yourself. All she was talking about was her daughter, which is I know I'm a mother, so I get it. You talking about you work your job, your full time job, Monday through Friday, and then you do this on the weekend full time. I do this to take care of my grandbaby. I do this to take care of my daughter. Or my daughter turning 21, she want to go on a cruise, and you know what I thought to ask her? I said, Miss Such and Such, what you doing for you?
I know you did.
You know I did.
I know you did.
And she every time she found a way to loop it back to something else. Oh, I mean, but she really. I said, wait a minute, Miss Such and Such. I said, don't forget about you. I kept telling her that. Don't forget about you. She said, I you know what? And the more she kept, she said, you right. Because we talked about that on the last. We forget. It starts with us first. You out here just running on E.
Running on E. I got a song for that. I said it. Shout out to Boom Scat.
Okay, Boom Scat. I'm ready. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, how can you give? How can you give from a full place? Be fulfilled, and then you going out here, and that's when you are like at your best, and you could give without wanting anything back. You can give and be so full. You know what I mean? You got so much to give.
We need to go to the spot out.
Yeah, girl. Yes.
We can't go right now because the situation.
Yeah, but he showed me a lot about money too. That was something else he showed me. But yeah,
What?
being able to do those things,
that's
what the money's for. To be able to live that life, that life that's gonna keep your cup full.
Yeah, facts. 100. Like, to be able to like give to people, to be able to employ people, you know, to be able to hire folks,
and giving to yourself, filling your cup. Cause how you gonna give out of an empty? You can't. You don't have nothing to give from that.
Now that's just to imagine that, like that. Let me just the money just flows to me so that I could
give it away,
so that I could give away, so I get to myself,
and
so
you
I
get more,
and I don't have to. I have no reason why it just comes. It just comes
because you giving it. You want to give. You want to serve.
Right.
You want to, but you got to do the work for yourself though. You got to.
And what's the work?
You said going inside.
Oh, okay.
Going inside. I know that shit. Bring the shit back around so we know what the hell we clear. What we talking about.
Yeah.
Afia, we clear.
Afia was saying, Angela, you get your Urus, and then what? You got a Urus. You got your high rise in Brooklyn. Then what?
I love
it's
that.
It's not helping nobody. She was like, you're not saying that you're gonna give a Urus and then you're gonna let these teenagers learn how to drive before they get their license.
I love
that. You're gonna use your Urus to drive.
It's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
These material items, don't get me wrong. Now we on this channel talking about truth, y'all.
Let me tell you,
some nice. The shit is nice.
Yeah, but
it's nice.
When I was over here talking about, I'm sleeping on the floor right now on my mattress, dead ass. But I also was thinking about getting rid of my clothes. Was on some minimalistic type thoughts. Like,
what did I tell you?
Looking around my room, like,
Angela,
what's all this stuff? Like,
whatever it tell you to do. I told you that before when we was talking about something. Do it.
Yeah.
That's how faithful you are to it. Whatever it tells you to do, you do. Because you already know it's taking you. That is your foundation. That is the foundation. That's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say too before we wrap this up. Thank you for posting. Keisha posts our videos and stuff like that. You know, on YouTube and all of that. And I just love your descriptions.
Do you?
Oh my God.
Cause I be overthinking y'all.
Oh, I love them. I love them. I hope y'all reading them because they be good.
Well, thank you. I listen. God got me where he got me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it. At first, I was super resistant to doing it, but now I don't mind. It's starting to come more natural.
I love when I wake up in the morning or I happen to pick my phone up because I be having my phone on do not disturb, but I'll take it out do not disturb and it'd be like text like YouTube, Spotify. And I'll be like,
I'll be sending it to the homie because I know she be wanting it. She be ready for it.
I'll be excited to see
I
that.
yeah, because at first I was hell bent. Going back to Michael Singer, I don't want. Now I can't do this. Da, 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 da. Okay, this what you bringing me? All right, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna say it's always easy, but the more I stay in alignment with it, it's like it just comes easier to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Word.
for sure.
Being in alignment is easy to let go. That's how you know you're in alignment when it's easy.
Yeah. And sometimes it ain't easy now. Sometimes
Can
it
we
ain't.
say that though?
It's easier.
If you're in alignment, if it's easy, you know that you're in alignment. Can we say that is the truth?
I don't, cause see the side of me that deals with people, I can't sit here and say it's gonna be easy. No, cause I just said that doing the work for me wasn't always easy. It's not always easy.
But you was in alignment.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't know. When you get to a certain place in your life and you look back and you be like, oh, okay. Yeah. And sometimes you might get better and you might not still understand. But,
I just feel like you ain't say nothing.
I did.
Like,
look, for them folks that need to understand, they goddamn it, you heard me.
You said something.
Just goddamn it, you heard me. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Trapping with guys, man. We appreciate all of y'all love and support. Tune in. We drop every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Visit our social media. Like, share, subscribe. Trappin.
Yep.
With guys.
Thumbs up that on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, love y'all.
Peace.
Oh, forget the how, because the how is not your responsibility.
We don't know shit.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.